Hello and welcome to ITSC 1342 Shell Scripting. My name is Professor Evans, and this course we're going to use Python for network automation purposes. Now the reason we're doing it this way is for years and years and years I would tell my students to take Python. It's so good for network automation. And then 6 months, a year later, I'd run into them in the hallway and they'd come back to me and say, "Why did you tell me to take Python? It's got nothing to do with networking." And the problem with that is Python was traditionally taught by the computer science department, and they teach it from a different perspective than what people in the networking, cybersecurity type fields can use it for. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. We'll start taking a look at the Canvas course. And I really like to have my students make sure you pay attention to the module section. This is where you're going to get all your information. A lot of students, they will come and they will just focus on this calendar section and everything, but you really need to make sure that you're going through these modules and not just clicking on the homework assignments and doing just the assignments. So as we go down through here, the first thing you want to look at is, this is some information, good stuff here. Let's take a look at that. IT and cybersecurity. If you're not aware of this, if you go to O'Reilly's website, and if you want to get access to this, I've already got a login. But if you put your school email address in there, they'll send you the information to create an account. And I'll put my account in here already, and it should sign me in a second. Okay, so I have to actually log in. I have to get out of this page, get out of the library access page, and I will go right here. Now I can sign in. And this is a great resource for anything related to IT, cyber, whatever your fancy is. But if I go and click on this, I can find a number of books on any topics, and we can filter it. Let's see here. Here's a book by the actual author we have. I can select formats. There are on-demand courses. There are videos in here for any topic. And it could be any certification that you would want, Network Plus. There's a whole series of stuff for Network Plus, and just any topic in IT or cybersecurity. Anything you could want, you can find it right here. So I really encourage you to explore that and be aware of these options. The next thing I want to look at would be, let me get back here. There you do have a link. If you ever want to take a CompTIA exam, you can get a discount voucher right here. I won't walk you through that, but it's there for you. There's some information for students, especially if you're a new student, you might want to look at that. I encourage you to all look at that. Here we have a link for the Open Computer Lab. If you have problems with your computer at home, you're welcome to come on campus and there's an Open Computer Lab on every campus. And then, of course, here is the link to the textbook. Here's actually a link to a media playlist for the course. And then, of course, there is a YouTube channel that was created by the book author, link right here. So let's take a quick look at that. So here's a couple of books in here. It's not the greatest book list. I'll add to that because I know there's a couple other titles that are relevant to that. Here's the textbook. It's free online. You don't have to buy the book. You can just go right to here and read it all online. And then let's go and talk about what this course will actually do. So I want to take a look at these lab documents right now. And what we're going to be doing in this course is I'll open up the lab diagram right now if I can get this over here. So what I've done is with a program called GNS3, I have Graphical Network Simulator. What I've done is I've created a maybe small to medium-sized network of a bunch of routers and switches, and we're going to use Python to retrieve information for this. We will not be configuring anything, and you'll be given all the commands you need and how they work in the course. I won't be expecting you to master the command line or even know the command line. but the purpose of this is to manipulate data in networking devices instead of building a silly game. Or I guess when I took programming, the big topics were, can you build a point of sale machine? Can you maybe build a program to manage a bank account for people? Stuff like that. Not really relevant to IT. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be logging into all of these devices using the same programming tools that you'd be taught in a regular programming course, but in this we're going to do something useful, and when you leave this course you're going to have some skills that you can really take to industry. Now the way this lab is set up is I have one public IP address given to me by the school. So instead of using the IP addresses for each devices, we're going to have to use port forwarding to log into each devices. And if we go to the next file I have, so in the device list file, this is a listing of every device and the port number you're going to use. I'm not going to put the public IP address or the username or passwords on YouTube, but this is the gist of it. So you'll be able to log into all of these devices, and instead of using the IP address, you're just going to specify a different port number for each connection you make. And then the next thing I want to look at is there's this file here, the command line comparison. Since we are using multiple devices from multiple vendors, we've got a little table here. So if you want to view something, and the instructions will explain exactly what these commands are and what you're looking for, you're not going to have to really troubleshoot networks or stuff. You're just going to be issuing these commands, retrieving data from them, and then manipulating the data. Okay, so now that you've gone ahead and we've talked about kind of the gist of the course, I want to go over what we're actually going to be doing. And in order to really make this work, you're going to have to install Python, and then there's an add-on to Python called NetMiko, and that's the programming tool that's going to allow you to create secure shell sessions into all of these devices. And there's two ways you can do it. You can install it directly on your personal computer, and if you have trouble getting it to work on your computer, I do actually have a virtual machine that will work with Oracle VirtualBox. You can go right to this link and download it. Actually, it's not. Oh, here's the link right here. Here's the link, and you can download the VM. Let me just show that to you real quick. And here is the link for VirtualBox, or here's the actual VirtualBox download. So you can download and install VirtualBox. And then in here is the virtual machine that you would want to start, and that's got it's a Ubuntu machine, but it does have the programming editor that we're going to be using, as well as Python and everything pre-installed. So you can do it either way. Back to the course. And there is a document right here for installing it. There's a video demonstration for installing Python and VS Code. I'll show you what VS Code is. This is VS Code. It's the programming tool that you can use. It's very useful. It's better than just trying to type commands and run the code. It gives you some highlighting to differentiate between different, whether words are the importance of different words, I guess is probably the way to say it for right now. And then also, if for some reason you get some syntax out, like let's get rid of this curly brace, I'll start getting error lines to help me out. So it's kind of a, it's just an editor designed for programming, and it works with Python. So this will be a great tool, and this is free to download. And I also want to encourage you to go through the concourse syllabus right here at this link. This is going to include information about the course outline, kind of the weekly schedule that could potentially change. I think I've got it pretty nailed down, but you never know. But also the grading scale, and then of course my contact information, my office hours, and if you ever need to get a hold of me, I believe my phone number, my email is on there. Reach out to me. I will get back to you. If you get stuck on something, don't panic, don't freak out. Let me know, and we can schedule a Zoom call, and I can help you figure it out. I tell you, one of the things I really get frustrated with students is sometimes they will spend too much time trying to figure out a problem that could have been solved with a 5-minute Zoom call. So don't be afraid to reach out if you're trying to do something and you just can't get it to work. A lot of times it's just a simple mistake, a simple typo, or something that you're not seeing. So don't be afraid to reach out to me, and you can always email me something with a question too.